That's the opening riff and the harmony section to Thin Lizzy's Sha La La on Nightlife. Now, I've been having a conversation with friends of mine online, Kev McLean and Chris Aylward, about the early days and some of the incredible solos that both Brian Robertson and Scott Gorham played. And the differences, and Kev put forward the idea that I think is really interesting. You know, Brian's knowledge of music theory, even at a young age, was up there because he played the piano and stuff, whereas Scott was a far more instinctive player. And Phil Lynott at the time said something, I'm paraphrasing here, but Phil Lynott said something like, you had Brian playing this very traditional style of rock guitar, and Scott playing this style that no one had ever played before, which obviously made for a fantastic twin lead pairing, definitely one of the best. Now, Chris and I had a discussion online where I was saying, what's the most unusual, like just what is he playing there, solo on Nightlife, that Scott does, because he's playing all over it. It's just incredible, and she knows he plays this. And that goes off and then that's definitely a contender. But Chris came up with Sha La La, and that's what I had in mind. As I say, it's over this G A C. And it starts off with a rundown of the right? The harmony section that I did, and then it goes to Scott's solo. Scott plays this. That's pretty unusual stuff to be playing over a G A C A stuff, right? So if we want to break it down, because I think it's really worthy of having a look at and saying, what exactly did Scott play there? I don't know if you could copy that. I don't know if the next time you're playing a kind of kick-ass rock song, you could go, do you know what? I'll put in some of Scott's approach and Scott's, because you'd have to have just the swaggering rhythm that he had as well. I can certainly show you the notes, and for me this is a solo that's really, really worth learning, as is Brian's. It's coming up in a minute, right? So if we take it apart bit by bit and look at it, you'll just see it doesn't really follow a scale pattern. It's really a sort of seat of the pants solo, and it's all the better for it because it's fantastic. So first thing you hear is Scott going. Right, so he bends the G to an A, it's fairly conventional, you'd say. And then I believe Rick Beato calls them a do-dadula, do-dadaloo, do-dad, like, it's something like that, right? But Scott plays. So we go, bend the G, let it down to the E, play the D. And then pull off with a real Scott snap. And then, as soon as you hear that, you go, Scott Gorham. That's just like, where did that come from? So we've got the first quite conventional A 5-note scale lick. Ted says anyone can play that. But then we go. Now at this point we're still really in A minor. We've bent the D, which is B, C, B, and then we go A, B, A. But it's Scott, so we play it like, so we play it with that kind of swagger, right? Next line, We're not in Kansas anymore. We move out the A5 note scale and we play. Which again is real Scott. We play a chromatic B, C, C sharp. Slide into the F sharp. And again a real Scots style. So. Now you'll notice he no sooner plays the F sharp, he's right up to the B. That's quite tricky to get. We're halfway through, right? So here it comes. Then Scott plays. Yep, that's what he plays. So he bends the E up to an E and goes. Then he plays a 3-note phrase, right? Which is E, F sharp, down to D. And then F sharp E. Fret the E, and then play this languid B bend. So very slowly we'd get. And then ABA. So now that's where I find it convenient on the neck to play it, because you can get the D up to the A bend, and that's the first space really where you've got space to put up. Shaking it. That bit. And then fret the E once. Now at this point we're going to have to play E, F sharp and E, which you could go or, but that doesn't really sound like it with a slide, so is where I think he plays it. That's where I can get closer in my head to the original, right? As soon as you've played that very, just bizarre, which would be that if it was up an octave, but it's there. Just fret the E once and just play that note like. So you fret the E once, push up the B, and then it's a quarter's way through. Right, and this is the last line. So this is quite conventional, but again, we've given up any A minor idea. We're now firmly in A major. Again, it's Scott, the rhythms, the phrasing, it's different. And the last line here is, so, we come off the F sharp, pretty much Scott, give it a shake, lay down, and then play with 2 picks for me. And that's Scott Gorham's solo at normal speed and slowed down in Sha-La-La. It's to me it's just magical. Like the album's what, 40 years old, and no more, it's about 45 years old, and I never get sick of listening to it. There's the deluxe edition out now, and every time that one comes on I just go, oh man, here comes Scott's solo, here comes Scott's fantastic solo. And it's only been in the last couple of days that I've really known what the notes were. So as I say, I think that'd be a really good one to learn. Completely distinctive, it breaks all the rules, and do you know what? If it sounds good, it's good. It doesn't matter if it breaks all the rules or not. If something sounds good, it's good, and that one to me definitely sounds fantastic. So that was it, Scott Gorham, Inshallah. I'll come back in a minute and I'll show you Brian's solo in Sha La La, which is different, but you know, they're both fantastic.